I've made over $500,000 with my clothing brand, and I've also helped dozens of brand owners hit their very first 10K month. But before this, I failed two clothing brands back to back miserably. I've got the samples, created the Shopify, and got zero sales. So today I want to explain the biggest mistakes that I see clothing brand owners make that completely stop them from being able to achieve a quote unquote successful clothing brand. So without further ado, I don't want to waste any time. Let's just get into it. Mistake number one is not establishing a brand identity. And this is actually the mistake that I made with the very first two brands that I started. And this is the reason why your clothing brand has not hit its first 10K month. In 2026, everybody brand is appealing because design is subjective. Everybody has access to the same manufacturers. Everybody has access to the same designers. Everybody can create decently looking organic content. So the thing that's going to separate your brand from the rest of the brands in 2026 is not going to be your designs. It's not going to be your content. It's not going to be your product quality. It has to be your identity. And without brand identity, you're literally guessing on what moves to make with your brand. And I give my students this analogy as soon as they join my program because this is actually the very first thing that we work on when my students join my program. And the analogy is this. Let's say me and you watching this video are out fishing, right? But on my hook, I have shrimp bait, and you have no bait on your hook. I'm going to catch more substance than you. I'm going to catch shrimp. You're not going to catch anything but trash. Why? Because you don't have bait. You don't have something for people to bite. And that's exactly what's going on in 2026 with brand owners who don't have a brand identity. A brand that's specifically built around a Christian message that is tied to living a dark past but coming to the light. When they throw their pond in the pool, they're going to attract those exact same people. A brand that's built on being doubted and then, working hard and achieving your dreams, that brand is going to attract a certain group of people that feel that same way. A brand that's not built on anything is not going to attract any group of people, and therefore nobody's going to care about the brand. And that's exactly why you're able to get views, maybe get a little bit of sales, have great products, but still not make as much money as you want to make. And it's because the lack of brand identity. And there's a very simple exercise that me and my students go through to create a brand identity. It just consists of word references, product references, photo references, character references, ICP, USP, OSM, and IP. And I can't explain those things because I already dropped them in a whole nother video. Y'all go watch my video on how to build a brand identity. I'll leave it down below inside the description. But that's the very first thing that brand owners lack, brand identity. Without it in 2026, you're not going to win. And that's the biggest mistake that brand owners make is not building their brand identity. The second biggest mistake I think brand owners make is not producing enough content. And when I say not producing enough content, I mean not building enough awareness for people to actually be able to see their products. And I had a student hit me up today. He was like, "Yo, D, I feel like I did good with my campaign, but I didn't get as many sales as I wanted." And I went to check out his content, and it was great content, great product. But he uploaded 12 videos. You guys don't realize that there are billions of people on the internet, and the same people that probably watch our content also specifically watch other brands' content. So your content alone generating 10,000 views on a drop is just not enough at all. I need to double tap my face because my camera seems to be running away from me. So there we go. But your content generating 10,000 views is not enough alone for you to have a crazy successful drop. You need way more views than that. And one of my students actually made 10K his second month of owning his clothing brand, but he was posting 17 times a day on TikTok. So volume is completely necessary, especially in 2026, because awareness is everything. The more people that see your product, the more of an opportunity that you get for people to actually buy the product. If it's not being shown to enough people, you barely give yourself the chance to actually make money. So brand owners that are not making 10K a month, that don't have an established audience, that don't have over 10K followers, you guys should be posting 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. And honestly, the more you post, the better. And You guys may have this objection that my audience is going to get tired of seeing me post my product. No, they're not. They're just going to scroll past it. And if they really want it, they're going to be inside the SMS list waiting for you to drop it on drop day. Most of you guys just don't really know how to plan and batch content up efficiently to have enough content to upload. And I'll make another video on how to actually plan your content and batch it up so one shoot can last you weeks. But we're not going to do that in this video because we're actually just talking about clothing brand owner mistakes. So mistake number 2, I would say brand owners make, like I just said, is not posting enough content, not building up awareness before they actually launch their products. And the reason that that is a huge mistake is because you're not even giving yourself an opportunity. You spent weeks developing a product. You spent months waiting for the bulk order. You dropped multiple products before this that didn't necessarily work out. And then you just post 4, maybe 10 videos and think the sales are going to go crazy. And then you get upset when they don't. That's not how things work. That's why you guys see me upload so much content. I post 2 times a week, not a week. I post every other day on YouTube. On Shorts, I'm dropping at least 2 to 3 posts a day on one account. That's not including YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels. You guys should be on all 3 platforms, posting multiple times a day. The more times you post, obviously, make sure your content is quality. And quality content is content that's high quality, content that targets your ICP, content that showcases your brand identity. That would be mistake number 2. And then mistake number 3, I would say, is not learning the systems, not learning the game. If you're trying to build a clothing brand in 2026, you need to understand the fundamentals. You need to understand content strategy. You need to understand the content funnel and how people actually consume content before purchasing a product. There's a rule that says it takes 7 times for somebody to view your product before they actually purchase it. That's a pretty important fact. And a lot of brand owners probably don't even know that because they're not spending enough time studying. And this is why I think mentorship is just so important. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh, here he goes talking about mentorship in his course. Quite honestly, I don't care if you guys buy my course or not. My students inside my course are eating so much that sometimes I'm not even interested in skilling new students because I'm so hands-on with them, trying to get them from 10K months to 40K months, like my guy Elijah, like my guy Ian. But learning is important, right? And YouTube has so much information, but if you're not actually applying that information, it doesn't matter. And I made a video on this in regards to the 3 skills. Learning is not watching videos. Learning is watching a video and then applying. Learning is actually the action that happens after you receive information. So if you're watching videos but not doing anything, you're not learning. But if you're watching videos and you're actually doing stuff, you're learning. I wholeheartedly believe that hiring a mentor is the easiest way to learn because you literally just follow their system. The issue with learning organically, like through YouTube videos, is that this person has this strategy. Dooley is going to teach you that you need to run ads. Marsh is going to teach you that you need to have a strict brand identity and use this specific creative direction strategy. My guy Malik is going to teach you that you should get into AI ads. I'm going to teach you that you should scale your clothing brand fully organically with SMS. Mr. B Special is going to teach you how to run the SMS and ad funnel. And there's just all these different strategies that brand owners use to scale, which all work. But if you try to do all of them at the same time, obviously it's not going to work out. And you're filling your head with information from all these different creators, right? So you don't know what to do. And when you do something, you don't commit to it long enough for it to actually work. So I think you guys should pick one person who you like the most or whose results you want to mimic the most or who you trust the most and literally just use their strategy and abuse it instead of trying to do everybody's strategy and watch every single YouTube video. And that's why I just think mentorship is so crucial because you get the back end systems of the actual information that's not being held on a YouTube video. And I've invested in some mentorships and courses myself. I've spent more money on courses and mentorship than you probably pay in rent right now. I was going to say that you probably pay in rent in a year, but depending on your rent, I've spent more money on courses than your rent in a year probably right now. I've spent more than $20,000 on courses. I spent 10 bands alone on Marsh's course. Call my bluff. I bought into Hollywood Shack's school. I bought into calls with other brand owners just so I can have information. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself because that's all it is. The course material can't be a scam because that person already got results and people have got results from that same exact course material. So those would be the three biggest mistakes I'd say. Number one, not building a brand identity. Number two, not posting enough content. Number three, not learning the proper way. Appreciate you for watching this video. If you want my one-on-one help building your clothing brand, comment the word scale. I'll reach out to you. Keep scaling, G.